It's just a part of their body dying.
What would happen if you fucking
Just
poured
woke up.
liquid nitrogen onto somebody's head? Like, like I wonder what would happen if you like filled a bathtub with liquid nitrogen and then just like sat down in it. Would you just freeze?
Yeah, you'd freeze to death almost instantly.
Yeah, like that'd be kind of hilarious.
We should do a video. We should capture coal and then fucking dip them into it.
Be an awesome way to commit suicide. Just steal a bunch of it from like a university or something like that, and then just pour it into your bathtub and just light it. Or just stick your head into it until you're dead. Like
fill your fucking toilet with it, then just stick your head in.
Maybe that's what happened to that fucking skeleton in Fallout 3.
Enemy 200.
What one? Which one?
Remember, you just like walk. It's like in one of the subway bathrooms. You just walk in there, and there's a skeleton in the toilet.
Oh yeah, there's
Like
a
its head
skeleton
is
with
in
like
the
head in
toilet.
the toilet. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how he died. Oh my god, there's skeletons everywhere in that
I like
fucking
the one
game,
that
dude.
fucking fans.
Enemy man.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. I think I told you about this though, but the one time when I walked into that the bar at what's that town called? On the aircraft carrier? Rivet City. I walked into the bar and like bumped into a barrel that was just sitting there and it like flew across the room and killed some lady.
Some old lady.
Yeah.
Everyone's just fine with it. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they just ignore it, like they don't even care. 'Cause basically the way that the AI works in that game,
Is that it only
If something
reacts
dies-
when another, like
200 meters.
another AI or you kill something?
yeah, that's the only time that they'd react. I mean, you know, like if say like a fucking like some sort of monster came in and just destroyed somebody, everybody would freak out and try and kill it. Or if I went in there and killed someone, you know, that's the only.
Wait,
time
that's
that
an
they-
inanimate object flying across the room.
Yeah, it's just an object. It has no AI like
Heal that.
contribution or anything like that. Like there's nothing controlling that other than just physics. So the fact that it flies across the room and murders somebody's face, literally like took her head off. But, like it doesn't affect the game at all.
I remember
Like,
being in chat with you when that happened. You're just like, whoa!
so weird. I've had shit like that happen so much in Fallout though. You notice too, like if you ever find those skeletons that are just like sitting on an AK or something like that,
Yeah.
you go and pick it up and they like go flying,
Yeah.
just out of nowhere. Like what the fuck? The AI is so weird in that
The
fucking game.
engine they use for Fallout, like the physics is so stupid.
It's hilarious.
Enemy man.
I like how you can like drag dead people around too. I remember in New Vegas I used to knock out Veronica and then just drag her body around. Like I just punch her until she'd tip over. And then I'd throw her off a cliff a couple of times.
Jake.
Like you know the dam?
Yeah.
I'd like knock her out and then just take her body and like chuck it off the cliff.
Would she survive?
Yeah.
She'd just be down in there in like the fucking Twilight Zone.
Yeah, she'd just be glitched out and I'd have to go back on my save, but you could do it.
Reloading.
And she'd live. Cause she doesn't die, there's unless you play on hardcore mode.
Jake.
Yeah.
The ambience. I just heard like a heavy metal
Enemy
door
missile
slam, and I just hear a guy go, ah!
11 o'clock. Enemy officer fall.
Dude, I think the map's called the Mall Strip. It's a Arma 2 map, but it's got like its own ambience system basically.
Yeah.
I was watching Double Dog Gamer. He was playing it on DayZ, and just like you could hear like fucking like little girls crying and shit, and like screaming from across like a valley, because it's all like mountains and shit.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah. Oh man. I love how there just like was no ambience though in what was that game? Dead Space?
Except for like the pipes
There-
falling.
Yeah, I mean there was like crying and singing and weird shit like that, but
But that was in scripted areas.
yeah, it wasn't just random. But you could always tell that something was gonna jump out at you because like the music would stop. You know? and then something would pop out of the wall and it'd go da-da, like all of a sudden. If we ever make a horror game like that, we should use that, the fucking, was it the surprise?
Yeah.
The surprise symphony. Just
By,
use that.
Hayden.
Yeah.
Just have it be playing in the background. You're like, what the fuck? And as soon as like, duh, like the fucking house explode that you're in. I don't know.
Franz Josef Haydn.
11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Enemy APC. 100 meters.
Wow. I'm downloading a 450 megabyte island thing for Arma, and it says it's going to take 2 hours.
Is that slow or fast?
That's incredibly slow. 2 hours for 450 megabytes?
Is that like, Jesus, this is fucking slow?
Yeah. I don't think it'll actually take that long,
It never does take as long as it says.
but still, it's going really fucking slow. It's going like 0.1 megabyte per second.
Oh my god.
Or actually per like a couple seconds. It's ridiculous.
Eventually, it'll get a hook into the download fucking like the source. Then it'll just like start bebopping like super fast.
Start what?
What's a bebop? A bebop's like a jazz riff. I think.
Okay.
Enemy
Like basically what a lick would be on a guitar, but with like a jazz instrument.
Yeah. Just like a flute.
No. Don't call a flute a jazz instrument.
I've heard it used in jazz. It's not
I
bad.
haven't.
Well, you, sir, are poorly educated.
I live in Illinois.
Or should I
that's
say
obvious.
educated?
Wait,
I think half of the Americans in this country are poorly educated, mostly by their own accord.
alright. Don't take into account what I just said, everyone. I do not live in Illinois.
Why do you need to tell people that you don't live where you live? That doesn't...
I don't trust people.
Oh, okay.
Jake doesn't live in Salt Lake, Utah. Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yes, I live in the lake, Brandon.
You live on the lake.
Yeah, my house just floats on it, and I somehow get wireless internet.
That'd be awesome.
No, it wouldn't, dude. You know how bad that lake smells? There's a reason they call it the Salt Lake. It's like 70% salt.
Well, yeah.
It fucking smells like anus all the time. Like, you can smell it from my house sometimes, and most houses around the area. You can, like, you just get the occasional, like on a windy day in the summer, you get the occasional, like, lake stench just floating towards your house. Doesn't last long, but you just get that random, like, ah, like it's like someone farting. It smells horrible.
That's
And I
not-
imagine where you live must smell pretty bad in the fall when all the corn dies.
Yeah, the corn fucking dies and everyone just starts burning it, dude. It's just like,
Oh.
oh, what the fuck? Jesus.
I remember,
You'll be at school, then everyone will just be like, what the fuck?
I remember when I was a kid, we used to, like, I'd go out to Target with my mom or whatever, and there's two, I mean, well, now there's a third one here, but there used to be two Target stores, like locations, and one was out in this place called Centerville. It's like
Centerville?
like a 15-20 minute drive from Salt Lake, just like through the desert basically.
Yeah.
Like it's like outskirtsville of Salt Lake. It's just like the
Then why is it
shittiest
called
part of it.
Centerville?
Well, because it's between Salt Lake and like Ogden and Brigham and all these other towns. But
Gotta reload.
I mean, it's basically like, I imagine it back in like fucking pioneer days. It was like this big fancy town. Everyone thought it was awesome, and it was like a little trade station and all this stuff where people would stop
And now
in.
no one gives a shit, so it's fine.
Now it's just this big fucking like shopping center. Like it's like Target and Walmart and all this other crap. Anyways, back to the point of my story though. Between Salt Lake and Centerville, there's like a big oil refinery, like on the side of the road. And when you drive past it, like you just smell it's like it smells like fucking someone's frying a skunk's asshole. Like
We lost you.
Oh my god, and
Right.
it like wafts into your car, so it takes like 15 minutes to get that awful smell out. It's so fucking nasty. And then there's a dog food factory in Ogden.
Oh my
I used to live
god.
there. I lived there till I was like 5, aside from the year that I was in China when I was a year old. But
Why'd you go to China? Just wondering.
well, my dad's an engineer,
Ah.
some big fancy company, so they send him all over the place because he's like an executive or some shit now. I don't even know. I don't talk to him, so I have no fucking idea. But he had work in China. In fact, he was there for like 6 months before we actually went out and visited him, and stayed there for like a year with him. So, I don't remember any of it. I remember like once being pushed in a cart up to some giant food dog, and that's like all that I remember from China.
We need to go to China
Why?
and just not go
There's
to China.
nothing there except for just shittiness and like Chinese people
Let's go to Japan.
everywhere.
They have mountains.
Japan's even worse, dude. It's so crowded.
They have mountains.
And then the people on top of that are just fucking weird.
They have mountains, though.
So what? They have mountains in China. And fucking North Korea. There's plenty of mountains there. Should we go to North Korea, Brandon?
No! They'll kill us.
Actually, I don't know. By the time we're old enough to actually travel there on our own, I'm pretty sure that we'll probably be at a war with that country.
Yeah.
The way things are heading, and especially considering we're like on the brink of war with Iran, and Iran and North Korea are like super tight allies, we're gonna end up fighting them. I bet you anything.
What's going on with Libya? Because that's just a giant, confusing
I don't even know.
shitstorm.
They pretty much, from what I understand, are trying, or did try, I don't know what's happening exactly now, but they tried the same shit that they did back in like the 80s when we were, during the Gulf War, when we were flying our planes over and they didn't want us to be flying in their airspace.
We're gonna have another Gulf War.
No. It's not about the Gulf War.
Well, yeah.
The problem was that we were flying in their airspace because it was easier to get troops. You know, because basically we'd fly them from the U.S. to Europe and then through Libya to like Kuwait.
Yeah.
And they didn't like our planes going over their country, so they started telling us, you know, you can't fly in our airspace. So we just bombed the shit out of them for like a couple days, and then they gave up. And that was that. Now, I think they're trying the same thing again, so we'll probably end up just bombing the fuck out of them again.
What the fuck is up with all these birds?
What?
You know, like when like a flock of birds goes past your window,
Fire in the hole.
Yeah.
there's just a shitload of shadows flying past your window. It's happened like 5 times in the past hour.
You ever seen when birds like group up and there's like a couple hundred of them just in this giant flock that's like
It's just like a cloud above your house.
it looks like an amoeba just floating around.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, giant amoeba.
it's so weird. It looks fucking awesome though. Like,
Yeah, you're like, what
I'm
the
always
fuck
at
is
a
that?
couple-
You're like, it's birds!
What if like a fucking jet flew through that?
Oh my god!
It'd just be like red powder coming out of the back end. And then the plane would end up crashing, of course, because birds fucking destroy jet engines.
Yeah, it'd tear up the turbine, then it'd just crash.
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious.
Then there'd just be a giant explosion from all the fuel.
Yeah. One person in the plane that decided to smoke could like light a cigarette and the whole plane would just explode.
He's like, well, I just crashed, might as well get a cigarette.
It'd be like that scene in Enemy of the Gates where he's like twitching, trying to light a cigarette.
Yeah.
Because the guy just got right in front of him, and the sniper's watching him. So he tries to light a cigarette, and then he like freaks out because he can't even do it because he's like just shitting his pants.
Yeah.
Probably be something like that.